10. Then James Litzenberg is plus 12 to the cut line. Danny Ware on the cut line at plus 5. Just below that is Matt Cochran and A.J. Roderick and Hunter Collier. So those 13, 14, and 15, Ken, they must be pretty hungry to get some momentum going and get above that cut line.
Well, they're going to have to be. They're going to have to put their A game on and start driving to the front. You know, win and you're in great shape. But so far this year, you've got you've got some guys that have won more than once. Cameron Hearns actually won 3 times. Ryan Hart's twice. And then last race we had was Brad Slaughter at Gateway. So he kind of logged himself in there, and he driving that 81 truck. So there's opportunities still here. You got 4 races left, including tonight. The question is, do you have what it takes to get to the front and win it when the checkered flag drops?
Yeah, always the idea here. Charlotte Motor Speedway being a very challenging track for strategy, which I love the idea of the 600 miles raced here during the Coca-Cola 600. You know, really stretches the engines as well as the fuel and the tires. Luckily for these drivers, iRacing doesn't have any glitching that can happen to their engines, but they will have to take care of their tires and conserve fuel to figure out the best strategy to be in the position to go for the checkered flag at the end of the night.
Oh, and this is one of those tracks where the tires are going to wear. We saw on the NASCAR Cup cars having issues, so I would imagine the same thing here.
And then we got the Truck Series team standings. Elite Entertainment up by a pretty large 30-point margin over Elwood, and then 2 points behind them is David Weishart Racing, and then Jacob Bellback, Darnell, Peak Racing, and then Transcendent. Notice last week, Transcendence only had one car or one truck in the race at Gateway a couple weeks ago.
And I believe that was that the 14 truck?
Mr. Hawkins, right?
Yep. Hawkins was, I believe, the only truck I remember seeing. So, yeah, I mean, you got guys coming and going. And this is where, you either make it in or you just continue to battle and see where you go. But it has tightened up a little bit over the last couple weeks as far as the Truck Series standings. But Elite Entertainment has definitely been standing out.
All right, so we've got a 4.5 minutes roughly in practice going on. Then we'll go to the 2-lap qualifier, single car qualifier. To set the field for the grid tonight. Ken, they just released Season 3 update for the 2022 season on iRacing. So with that was a new damage model for the next gen Cup car, as well as some other updates and stuff. Restart zones are starting as well. I'm not sure how that'll affect tonight, but we'll keep an eye on it. We were talking a little bit about it yesterday. It was a nice size patch before I got in today, so I haven't even had a chance to read everything about what's new. For tonight, though, I asked the question about who's going to win tonight, a veteran or an upcomer. Veterans are those I ratings I'm talking higher, like Hart's and Cameron Hearn, and the guys that are up there in that 4,000 plus range. Those are my veterans, the guys that have been around for a while. Or there's a newcomer like Logan Hartman, down there, come up and surprise these guys. It's a track that's been in the service since the initial go, and it's included. Charlotte Motor Speedway has always been included in the iRacing membership, so it's not an add-on track, which a lot of the other tracks are. So this is the one that everybody has the most practice on.
Well, I'll be honest. I think what we're going to see tonight is strategy, and a guy that comes to mind as far as I'm concerned, as far as strategy goes, is Garrett Grant. He's just under that 4,000 mark, but very good at handling his tires, very good at what he does. He came in third at Gateway, if you recall, and so I think he's one to watch. But is there someone else small, down low? You know what? Collier's shown flashes of brilliance every once in a while. There's other ones out there, Pierce Moffitt from time to time. The Watermelon Man, Travis Beckner, where has he been so far? And is this his night that he might pull something off. So I think it's possible, but those guys that are up front, they're up front for a reason. Their ratings are what they are for a reason, and I think you're going to continue to see that, see them go to the front and kind of stay up there.
All right, so talking with my crew chief hat and pulling it out there, we're looking at 45 to 50 laps for a tank of gas here, and that won't be enough to split it in half. But how do you preserve the tires? We had guys last night going to use all their tire sets that they came, so for 120 laps with 3 sets available, if I remember correctly, double check that. Yep, 3 sets available. We'll be breaking this thing in force about every 30 laps coming in. It uses all your tires. You have nothing left. But you have the freshest set of rubber underneath you, so you'll be able to put the fastest times down at 30 laps. Or do you go to a 2-stop, which would put it back at 40 and 80, and you have an extra set in your back pocket?
Well, I think this track is a tire track. If you're going to stay up front and keep it going and have the speed, you got to put a new set on. With only 3 sets of tires, you don't have a lot of room for mistakes. Let's just put it that way. And I would assume that most guys are going to try to do it 2 times, leaving that 3rd set in case a late caution comes out.
Yeah, that's what I believe would be. But I think we're going to see a couple guys go with the no late caution kind of thing and go with all 3 early. And you know what? There's a couple drivers out there that like to make me out to be wrong with my fuel strategy. I wonder if somebody tries to split this thing in half.
Well, there's always going to be one, isn't there? We've watched it over and over again. We've seen it throughout the season so far. So there's a good chance that's exactly what's going to happen. You will see one do that. But I just don't think the tires are going to allow it with the way you drive into these corners and come off. The different lines that are available, I just think you're going to see at least 2 tire stops. It's going to be really hard to split it in half and just do 1 and 1. I don't think the tires are going to allow it, Harold.
All right. Well, as we get back into qualifying, let's show you what you missed if you didn't check out Gateway a couple weeks ago.
All right. Cameron Hearn's going to lead him around coming to the line. Green flag is that he waited a long time to wave that green flag, Harold.
Yeah, they're quite delayed, you know.
Corner.
It's in the back. Yep.
What happened? Was that your lightning streak?
Yeah, lightning. Yep, it was lightning. Give me a break, man. Give me a break, man. Give me a break.
Stop it. Stop. Oh, so he's gonna draw. Here it comes.
Caution out now.
Uh-oh.
You're not messing around and got a caution.
It's my fault. Things together and get himself up there, and it'd be good to see him kind of.
Whoa, the 5 and 12.
Oh no! Garrett Grant bumped in.
Was that Fambro?
Bro, yeah, he jumped right in front of Colin.
And
by the time they get down there,
Cameron Hearn to somebody to the wall.
Cameron's gone. Cameron Hearn just left the building.
Just 37 laps completed thus far.
Let's see if we can't get a couple extra laps in this time. AJ trying to go on the outside of Fambro.
Turn, big wreck. Wineland involved.
So I'm just gonna not talk about cautions ever again because clearly
it is predominantly like a short track. Whoa!
Oh, there we go again.
The 9 holding on though. Now the 4 gets turned. And that'll bring out the caution.
And Slaughter drops back to second. Jacob Bell in third.
Caution on the racetrack. Saw lots of drivers slow. Not sure what started all this. Let's see if we can try to look right here, see what we got going on.
Yeah, he's been there almost every race. Jacob Bell dive bombing through that turn right there to get up into 3rd place. What a move by Jacob Bell. All right, Slaughter's down under the that's where he is, underneath
Tires, big time.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to fight that off. Jacob Bell goes around as well for 2nd place.
Yeah. I never knew that it took a strong man to put the net up.
Why?
Huh?
Why do you say that?
They're saying that the driver couldn't put it back up properly.
Oh, whatever. He shouldn't have taken it down to begin with.
Well, he took it down because he thought the race was over.
Brad Slaughter, Jacob the Captain Bell, and Garrett Grant coming in third.
All right, so that was last broadcast 2 weeks ago, Ken. It seems like it was forever ago.
It does. It does. Anytime you have to take time off like that. But you know what? If you were watching television, you got some phenomenal racing at Memorial Day, from F1 to Indy to the Cup cars. I mean, if you were watching before, there was a lot of good racing during that time off, even this past weekend. So I was really, really happy about what I got to watch when I wasn't on.
Shane Wolf putting himself into the 13th spot. Looking now, Cameron Hearn, the 67 Elite Entertainment truck out here, the CNC Logging sponsored 67 of Cameron Hearn. You know, it's just fitting. I always said that when you put the primary sponsor on your truck, you just happen to get more time on the camera.
Well, I mean, it does bode well for the company that's supporting it or sponsoring. So yeah, I mean, I think you would want to give a little more camera time. Not to mention he knows how to drive the truck, so that kind of helps as well. But there we see Kyle Sieg just jumped up into second, right behind Garrett Grant, with a 31.61. So heck of a run there. Couple of names. Again, I called Garrett Grant out as one of those ones that knows how to save his tires, and he put himself right up at the top, didn't he?
Yep. Sieg, though, you know, a driver that's familiar with the NASCAR series in real life, so
yeah.
So he probably has some time on this track, you know, I don't know, with real time, you know.
A couple minutes here or there. That's
just a few.
Yep.
Only we had to pay our way onto the track, you know. Sieg just shows up and they give him a car. Right. So the question tonight is, what team will win tonight's CNC Logging Truck Series race? You can bet on Peak, Transcendent, Darnell, Elwood, JBR, DWR, Elite, or a non-team. Points ranging from 5 to 400. So get your channel bets in before we go to racing. And Cameron Hearn out here currently in the 4th spot with Elite Entertainment. Paul Irvin puts himself up to the top, another elite driver. And Paul, you know, he's the points leader, no wins though. Maybe he's going to break through tonight.
Well, I mean, if you want to look at consistency, this so far, Swervin Irvin's been the man. But yeah, I'm shocked he doesn't have a win. There we see Travis Beckner right now on the track, and it looks like he's pulling it to the side, so he's probably done his run. But yeah, I mean, maybe we do see Paul Irvin tonight. I mean, that's a pretty stout. He beat Grant by 2/100ths. That's fairly stout. So.
But we will see these times definitely crawl up probably around the 32-second range under green flag conditions. So exactly. Tire fall off, a huge thing here. I know I've talked about this before, but the NASCAR 2003, which is the basic engine for iRacing, used to be able to detonate tires. And man, this place in me in turn 4, that happened more than once. Hate this track.
I can detonate a truck into the corner quite well here at this track.
Yeah, I used to burn the right front tire off of this here in Texas.
Good shot of the 4 Matt Cochran going around trying to take his lap. Whoa, nice save.
Slideways. There we go.
Nice save right there. But Eric Wineland. Now here's another guy, knows how to run his tires, knows how to maintain. He's sliding too.
Yeah, he saw that in his steering wheel. Is how he grabbed it, you know.
He leaned, it leaned, he leaned, and that was all she wrote.
Come on, Eileen.
A little too much, I think.
All right, Eileen left, you lean right, right? So gonna try to reset this and get that 1 lap in, because he's able to restart it and get a lap in. But that first lap, it looked like everybody's second lap's been the fastest. So we'll see what he gets going on. He's going to try to heat those tires up and get that one lap in. So see, that's what he's doing right now. He's gonna try to get
Working
that
the wheel.
rear. Yeah. Got his podcast mic in front of him. All right, gonna take the green flag here. But this is one shot here as we're on board and watching him. You see that face, the concentration.
Notorious for the face, but good driver all the way around as well. So good. It's always fun to watch Eric drive, and it's even better than the fact that he's willing to give us those camera shots that he does. So appreciate that very much. By the way, last race winner Brad Slaughter in the 81. He is currently 13th. So Charlotte is not treating him well so far, but I'm sure he'll be there as the race goes on, and probably near the checkered flag, so that we can do what we got to do.
Well, it looks like everybody has put in a time that wants to. 4 drivers electing not to come out just yet. A minute and a half left. Don't think they'll be able to. We'll see. But James Cowie, Nolan Neiman, Christopher Buds, and Jacob Bell have not posted a time yet.
It's kind of neat when you're looking at this track. I was actually, when I was there for the 600, they had the big seats over here in turns 1 and 2. I was up in turn 2, and they were double lever. I remember, man, it took forever to get up to your seat. Yep, right through there.
Yep, I was in those for my Coke 600, the only one that was actually finished on Memorial Day.
Yes, I remember you saying that. That's true. So, but they were big stands. They were big grandstands.
Oh, like yeah, covered too.
Yeah, covered. Bathrooms were nice. You had food up there, but that's only because it took you 6 weeks to get there. But
when it rained, we watched all the people in these grandstands running for the hills.
Right. While we just walked up to the middle and stood there and stayed dry.
We were already covered. We just kind of sat there and just watched everybody. It was perfect. And you were talking about the dirt track. We were actually parked at the dirt track, so we had to make a pretty long walk.
Yeah, obviously it doesn't show it, but if up at the top there you see, and then the long strip over there is the Ford truck. That's your dirt. Yep. And then right behind it are the long drag strip as well, the 4-lane drag strip. I was there the year before. There used to be a bridge, a walkover bridge. Mm-hmm. And I was there the year before it collapsed. Oh. And I thought to me, my friend Eric and I had walked across that bridge multiple times on the weekend. Mm. And the following year it collapsed, and I thought, man, thank goodness it wasn't that year,
Right.
But by the way, I'm not betting. I can't figure out how to bet anyway, so it doesn't matter. So.
All right. Again, let's start off with the grid.
All right. Inside of row 1, you got Paul Swervin Irvin and Garrett Grant on the outside in the 5. Again, Kyle Sieg in the 39 on the inside of 2, and Ryan Hartz on the outside of 3. Cameron Hernan, the 67 there inside of row 3, with Colin Fambro on the 54 on the outside. Sean Corcoran on the inside of row 4, and AJ Roderick on the outside. In the inside, Tyler Hallman in the 42, and then Ed the Muffin Man, 64, Robertson shows up.
And inside row 6 is Hunter Collier, and outside of him is Jordan Martin. And we have the row 7 of Slaughter and Ware, as Danny Ware just popped in. Travis Beckner and Justin Anasogak in row number 8. Row 9 is Pierce Moffitt and Eric Wineland. Curtis Vollmer and Caleb Steimer will be in row 10.
All right, row 11, you got the number 1 of Ryan Swan. Outside of him is Tinchin, the 66. Inside of row 12 is Mitchell, and the outside is Cochran. James Shanewoolf in the 31, and the inside of 13, and Mullins on the outside 37. Hartman with some of the best hair ever in 51 truck on the inside, and Litzenberger on the outside in 12, and then Mr. Caps on the inside of 15, Jacob Bell on the outside in the 77.
And then we got a couple more here. We got Nolan Neiman and James Cowie. And Christopher Buds will be in that 20 on shotgun in the field, and the 33% outside inside of 17.
Yep.
So that is our field as we get going here, and we're under pacing already as the truck is here. So
33 trucks, so picked up a little bit in numbers, didn't we?
yeah, a little. All right, so you still got time to make your bet. It's exclamation point. You can bet the team that you want to bet on, and then the amount of points you wish to bet, and you can bet on any of the current teams tonight. That is a Peak, Transcendent, Darnell, Elwood, JBR, DWR, Elite, or a non-team. So anybody not on a team, you put non-team, and you'll win your win for that. So we got Elite and David Weishart Racing on that front row.
Gotcha. I'm gonna keep an eye on our buddy Ed Robertson. I haven't called his name in a race in a while, so I'm gonna keep an eye on.
Interesting, Kyle Sieg did not take the green, neither did Nolan Neiman.
That's correct. They both disconnected. So Neiman was having problems, so I don't think he got disconnected. His computer may have blown up again. So.
Caution is thrown by Rafe Slate. So something in see if I can see what's going on, but the admin's throwing the caution right on the start.
So this lap will not count.
Actually, it will. The green flag did come out, so
Okay.
we're under racing conditions, but they put it right to yellow, so it should cause everybody to stay in their current positions and restart the race. But the laps are counting at this point.
It's like Kyle got back in according to the scoring, timing and scoring.
Yeah, he's back. Well, he's blinked out just again. There, he's blinking in and out. See what's going on with his entry here. Kyle Sieg showing some issues with his quality, and Nolan Neiman is out as well.
Anymore, yeah.
So Sieg, because they threw the caution, is able to get off a pit lane and get into the tail end of this and not go a lap down. So
That's going to be quite the run in order to do that.
So Travis Beckner's grandpa in the house, of course. So if you're looking to bet on Travis, that would be Bet Elite and then the 200 channel points for Mr. Beckner's team, which is Elite.
Yep.
All right. So with that being said, we have our first caution of the night. We would like to thank Elite Entertainment LLC for their support of the Elite Entertainment Cup Series and all of us here at Area. Be sure to check out Elite Entertainment LLC on Facebook and book them to DJ at your next event. It's Elite. And check them out.
Our last race winner, Brad Slaughter's grandfather, just checked in. J.R. Barker, 45. Good to see you tonight, sir.
Check it in. All right. So I double check that. I want to make sure that I got that right, but I'm pretty sure that Travis was part of the Elite team. Maybe not. Maybe not Elite for here. So he would be a non-team. So non-team for Travis tonight.
All right. Well,
Unless I'm wrong.
50 milliseconds in, and we have a yellow flag.
Gonna double check here, and I'm gonna go look at before I get in trouble for not doing it right. So you see logging series, so we got a bunch of different teams. So I'm trying to look at our drivers' rosters. So Elite Motorsports, it's Horn, Irvin, Shane Wolf, and Hearn are Elite Entertainment for the truck series.
Mm-hmm.
So young Travis Beckner is a non-team driver in the number 28, but he's affiliated with that team. That's why I said Elite, because he has an affiliation with them. And I believe he's actually sitting in their team channel. I'm going down and checking. And yes, he is. He's in there with Adam Capps, which is the team owner. Hearn, Mr. Ed Robertson, Shane Wolf, Irvin, and Beckner. So they're all hanging out to basically crew chiefs and spotters are helping each other out. So they're all on one channel.
Sounds like a good group.
Yeah. Infinite Gaming is coming in and checking out. So let's go 23 is what Arstein 73 has said. The number 23 truck of Caleb Steimer.
4 laps now under caution.
It was a start off and just kind of seeing some stuff here. So Cameron Hearn requesting an EOL. So as he said, he pitted, he wanted to go to the back. So no, Cameron, this is one thing we talked about. We talked about this going through in the beginning of the race about the laps, and we said up to 55, right? 45 to 55, I said, or 45 to 50, right? 45 to 50. So if they could do 50 laps on fuel, and now we just finished the 4th lap under caution. We have 116 laps to go. That changes everything. If we get down to 110, somebody might be able to squeak out some more laps. So, maybe that's what Cameron Hearn's doing. He basically might have just got some more fuel and might try that strategy. Who knows?
Well, he was on for 15.8 seconds, so
yeah.
I don't know what he's doing.
My score is showing he was down there 7.4, but he was on He was on the lane for 31 seconds from time.
Didn't show me the pit. It only showed me the lane. That's right. So.
Oh, okay, cool. But the box, I got him in the box at 7.4, which that was probably just fuel, most likely. And he's been down twice. That might be another thing that might have messed you up there, too.
Well, Shane Wolf is there, Wineland, Caps, Litzenberger, they've all come.
A few drivers electing to come down. And that 1.8 of lane time for Sieg was the fact that he came back into the service in the pit and basically just rolled off a pit lane instead of being on the grid with everybody else. So race controls cleaning up the black flags and anything that might have been issued incorrectly. The pace truck is out of the way. We'll start this race now with 115 laps remaining as we're coming into the green flag with Paul Irvin leading the way.
And he gets another great jump like he did the first time around. He's going to go down into turn 1 and 2 with the lead. And we'll see if he can hold on to that fast truck behind him in the 3 with Ryan Hartz. And then Garrett Grant in the 5 truck, surprisingly up front. Not that he's not capable of it, but he typically runs a race where he conserves and or, saves his stuff. But there we see Hartz out to the front.
Yeah, Hartz is moving up here. And I'd like to thank Derek Lemke rating our channel here. So all of you guys coming from Derek's Twitch channel, welcome to Area iRacing of the CNC Truck Series, sponsored by CNC Logging and Wendigo Studios coverage here as we got Ryan Hartz, who he's been pretty good any race he's been in. He wasn't able to race last night, but man, he's a hot hand, hot wheel.
Well, you're exactly right. He has been hot all the last couple races all season long. He's got 2 wins already, so for him to be up front, not surprising. I did see, though, after he ran the fastest, then Tinch and now A.J. Roderick. So guys that are in the middle are actually laying down some speed right now, which is pretty interesting considering, most times when you're here at this track, if you're out in clean air, you're going to go a lot faster than everybody else does.
All right, so thanks for the follows from Gary the Snail and T. Kangas and Henson88. And hope you guys hang out with us more often. Here right now is the Rick's Hot Sauce 3 leading the way over Paul Irvin and Garrett Grant. Colin Fambro and A.J. Roderick, your top 5 here at Charlotte, completing lap number 9 of the 120.
Paul Irvin's going back and forth, looking like Harold. He really wants to get back to that lead, get back out in that clean air. But, again, Hartz has a fast truck, so he's going to have to decide, do I get him low, do I get him high? But they're all running about the same line right now.
Interesting. I talked about Garrett Grant before last night. He's usually the driver. We thought, man, Irvin is pushing the back of Hartz. But the 5 car normally sits in the back, works his staying out with the fuel and all. But the guys were telling me last night that Garrett Grant loves this racetrack here at Charlotte and is going to push, push, push.
Well, then that's good. That explains a lot and explains why he is where he is and he's not conserving. He's going to go and try to to slam himself into the lead. But right now, it's Paul Irvin all over the back. He almost looks like he's a bumper sticker on the back of that Hart's number 3.
He's definitely pushing him hard. In race control, David Weishart let me know that the number 58 truck of Sean Mitchell issued an EOL for an illegal lane change at the start of the race on lap number 1. And we had an issue with the caution being a missed throw. But we cleared that up, and we're back under green flag here, working lap number 11 of the 120.
All right.
So all bets are in for the teams.
Yeah, I saw that.
And if you're new to the channel, you can check out our store, !STORE, take you to our channel store, where you can see what kind of merch we have available if using your channel points.
So Paul seems to have a good truck going down the straightaways, Harold. Ryan seems to be able to kind of keep that distance going into the turns. But man, oh man, when Paul gets a run on that backside, if he can get out of 1 and 2 a little better, he's got a shot at going around him. It's just a matter of picking the right line. Right now, he's gonna ride along, stay behind him. But if you notice, man, when he gets on the straightaway, he can pull close really fast.
Yeah, but that's the draft working for him. But if I'm Irvin, I might want to just sit here for a little while, maybe clutch that thing a little bit and let him drag me around here, because it's not. I'm not having to burn fuel when I'm behind him, not like everybody else is.
That's exactly right. It's a good point.
So dirty air, you might not like it back there, but it could help you out a little bit later in the run. And let's see what Paul Irvin continues to do, as these guys are definitely painted on each other at this point, almost like they're one truck. And Irvin looking to the inside, he's showing what you're saying. He's like, I like the lead a little bit too much, Ryan, so get out of the way.
Yeah, he had so much strength. He just needed a good turn coming off of 1 and 2 to kind of get his truck back up there, getting the lead. That doesn't mean Ryan Hart's going to go away either. But just a good move by Paul Irvin down that backstretch. There you see the 18 and the 19, the Alaskan Assassin there, the 19 of Justin Anna Sogok, and the 18 of Danny Ware.
That's Kyle Sieg here.
Yep, Kyle Sieg there as well in the 39. He might like this track slightly too, but you see a couple trucks back there, way back, that are kind of 2-3 wide. There you go.
It was interesting to see that Sieg was moved all the way up to the 15th spot, starting tail end of this because of a connection issue. So moving up pretty quickly for him.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and again, surprisingly so, or not so surprisingly, but we just showed a shot. Eric Wineland back there, Jacob Bell, Logan Hartman, Tyler Haltman, Cliff Mullins, all of them dancing around back there, and further on in the pack around 23 to 27. So there's competitive driving everywhere, but there's a few that are really moving well, and again, Kyle Sieg is moving up. He's jumped quite a few places since the drop of the flag. Paul Irvin, as you see, Harold, looks like he stretched it out a little bit more on him.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yep. Thing is, here you don't want to get stuck. If you get too far ahead of everybody else, it can be a problem as well. As you see, Ryan Hart's coming back up on him here, and Grant in tow. So the top 5 really haven't changed much. You got Irvin Hart's, Grant Fambro, and AJ Roderick. And then a relative newcomer, Hunter Collier. We haven't really talked much about him this season.
But you were mentioning guys that are below that 4,000 mark. I mean, AJ Roderick being in 5th, Hunter Collier in 6th. Both of them have those I ratings that aren't quite up where everybody else is. But you know what? They're driving like they have I ratings of 5. So that's what you want to see. You want to see him being able to put that. Looks like Garrett Grant's gonna try his hand at getting around that 3 truck as well. But the 3's gonna dive inside. He must have had a better 3 and 4 than Irvin, and now he's gonna shoot himself back to the lead. Can he pull Garrett Grant in the 5 truck with him? Along with, no, it does not. Looks like Paul Irvin goes back on the inside.
Yeah, they close that hole, so now Irvin stuck to the low line as Ryan Hart continues to track around the mid-high groove. So change for the lead again.
Working too, Harold. There you see Colin Fambro going to try to do the outside move on the 5 of Garrett Grant. Wow, Garrett dove that thing in there, didn't he?
Yeah. these guys, the low line, they're going to have the speed entering the corner, but the off is definitely going to be the outside line. So see how this works towards the end of the night as it gets cooler. The track, I think the guys will be moving up further up mid to high line on the track during the corners.
JT Motormouth is asking if there's a problem with the feed freezing up. I don't see it on my end, and I'm looking. I actually have my phone running as well as far as the feed goes. So, no, I do not see it, but if anyone else does, if you could let him know so that we know if it's a big issue or if it's just, limited.
Localized, maybe. We'll see. Like I said, we can see here Ryan Hartz is leading the way. We're working at lap 21 of the 120 scheduled, so 100 laps left to go as they cross the stripe here.
So we talked about we talked about the timing going off. So we were running 30s, Harold. Now we're at 31.
Yep.
Slowly but surely, we're backing towards that 32-second mark.
Right.
Good, still good, solid racing but Paul Irvin's dropped all the way back to fourth. Fambro's found his way up to third. And again, not necessary to push it right now. You got plenty of laps to go, but good to see certain people up there and driving their trucks well.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure that we didn't have any audio issues. I just jumped off to check on my other computer just to verify that. But thanks to Mr. Barker letting us know that he's not having any issues. So, all right, well, 23 laps, and you're starting to see the sun come down. We can talk a little bit about, I just had a little hiccup there. Wait, everybody went away for a second. All right, so weather for the lows 180 here, partly cloudy skies. The air temp is 70, 77 on the track, relative humidity 50%. And, winds slightly out of the southwest at 3 miles an hour. And that's your weather. Presented by Lottie'sTravelWorld.com as we're working lap number 24 of the 120 scheduled here. And you're starting to see that golden hour, that sunset in the distance.
That's a beautiful temperature for Charlotte, too.
It is this time. It is scheduled for today. So June 7th at 8:19 in the sim. So think of about 8 o'clock, about an hour behind, I guess, roughly.
Typically, it'd be a little warmer than that, but still, beautiful night. I wouldn't mind sitting at the track watching these guys at that temperature.
Yeah, it'd be nice. But, it's been kind of weird weather-wise this season. But so we got Hartz, now Grant, Fambro, and Irvin now falling back. So I wondered, did Paul use his tires too early? And this allowed these guys to kind of walk away from him about a second, 1.2 seconds from the leader back to Irvin.
He's currently about 0.2 of a second slower as far as laps go. So, yeah, he probably did. And when he used it up the most was probably trying to get back around Hartz when he lost the lead. And you can do that pretty easy here. But he seems to be, he'll level out here and everybody else will be there. But you see Brad Slaughter now on the back of him in the 81 truck. He's coming towards the front and rightfully so. He has one already this year, so why not just keep taking the chances away from everybody else?
He's also the biggest mover on the podium right now, 8 positions since the start of the race.
There you go. Well, when you got the truck, you got the truck. You got to go.
Well, they were talking about that last in the next gen series, saying that passing here was not as easy later in the run, and that you really wanted to get what you could get while the tires were good on the car. So I wonder how the trucks work. Again, the trucks have been around for a lot longer. The track's been around for a lot longer. So this is more of a known element, where yesterday's race in the next generation car was relatively new to the drivers. But truck's been doing this track in this configuration for a couple of years now. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way something's gonna jump up and shock them in any way. But the front 2 trucks have kind of spread it out a little more. Again, running just slightly faster than Colin Fambro. Paul Irvin back into 31.8. So everybody's kind of evening out right now. You can see by the gaps. Gaps haven't gained too much between first to sixth. They've all been kind of about the same. But Brad Slaughter again is moving forward, so that's a good thing. Coming past time.
Yep. Lap 29 down, 30 being worked here. So if we get to the line here, it'll be 25% down at one. I said, was told by race control that first caution was what we call a finger press or something. I don't know. They didn't tell me exactly, but just saying it was not thrown. It was thrown by admin by accident or by push or something. So started the race a little, give the guys 5 extra parade laps. So
Yeah, say that fast 7 times.
hey, come on, give me a break. So we are 25% down here as we're looking at Hartz and Grant kind of pulling away from the field. Grant looking now to take the inside line, trying to put himself to be the third race leader as they're fighting hard off the corner. Hartz with the slight advantage off of 4.
Well, as you said, he's running that slightly higher line. Seems to be giving him plenty of momentum as he goes in and then as he exits off. So there you see Garrett Grant going to take a half a step higher this time. Nope, goes back down to the line, rides it, and sees what he can get when he comes off at 2.
Ryan Hartz is basically looking at late apex, which helps the tires as well as the center off. See, he just now catches the apron and now comes off. So he's basically full throttle when he gets down to the apron here. Trucks are able to do that. The RPM is a little bit lower than the Xfinity in the next gen cup. And so he's trying to keep that throttle stuck down. So see it go in this driver info here, kind of watches RPMs as he takes these corners.
I can't seem to get my foot to stay down when I go into those corners. So, yeah, I'm going to have to pay attention.
He feathers it a little bit, gets it down in line, and then right back into the gas he goes on off that corner.
Surprised the stability of the back end of some of these trucks right now, just from, and again, they've done it a lot of times here at this track, so it's not something they haven't done before. But the back end seemed to be really stable tonight. There's not a lot of dancing going on.
So he has so JT Motormouth is back and had to do a reset of his system at home and because everything's all good now, so that's good,
Well, welcome back.
It's like my dad used to have me go up there and he's like, "Hey, son, hit that television."
Yeah, or can you hold that aluminum foil for about 20 minutes?
Hold that rabbit ear to the right. No, to the left. All right, now hold it. I can't see the TV. Quiet, I'm watching the news.
So Dave, I was glad when we got and we'll get back on the racing in just a second. We apologize for the off track, but I do remember that the first time we got the antenna with the rotator on it, just spun the wheel and it would turn your antenna, and it's man, that was glorious. And then we had cable in that Welsh Road. So, but
and here we got the Taurus
guys.
in the back 20 guys. There's Adam Capps, Tinch, Cochran, a little 5-car pack back here.
Rise Tinch is back there. He's had some pretty fast laps, even leading into his qualifying. But again, maybe some of these guys are just doing something different, and that makes sense. Maybe they know something we don't know. But
maybe, perhaps. So Cameron Hearn moving up to the 13th spot. He's the leading driver of those that came down to top off under that first caution. So keep an eye on that 67. We're going to go back up to the front with race leader Ryan Hartz.
By the way, we got the 18 in the pits.
Danny Ware. He hit that wall hard, and he's going to be in there for a while.
Yep. And then Kyle Sieg I'm showing as well.
Caleb Steimer, Litzenberger all have 4Xs. That's interesting. I wonder if that all happened at the same time.
It's possible.
And the caution's out. So maybe that all came out. Let's try to find what happened on lap 37. Caleb Steimer into the wall. Right there. And then this Tinch and all these guys go around him. He goes into turn number 1. See, so Steimer had already hit the wall off of 4.
Get a little help.
Oh, wow.
You
So
get some help.
a wiggle in front of him. So right here you can see, watch, right here is Bobby Tinch, and he's going to do a left, right here, and then it looks like he's going to cause Caleb to lift, which affects his car to go down in here to Litzenberger.
Oh, he does wiggle a little. Yeah. I don't know.
I think it was a reaction. And,
It
you
could
know,
have been a reaction.
yeah, so that's why we said it there, and then and that's what started that caution. Let's get us back to live action. And Ryan Hartz is the leader. He's going to bring it down pit lane.
Looks like he's going to bring some friends with him.
Yep.
So everybody and their brother will be coming down and taking on, I would assume at this point we're at 40, they'll take on fresh tires and a full tank of gas. No, they will not clean themselves, JT. They absolutely will not. So get them planes shiny and beautiful.
So,
And don't forget to plug in the grounding clip so you don't electrocute yourself while you're waxing them.
so Cochran stays out to lead a lap, perhaps. So we can look at that as well. So tonight's laps led. Hartz and Irvin, the only 2 drivers with laps right now. The 4 of Cochran will get his most likely here. And then that's it, just the top 2. Those other 2, not sure how ATVO finds the other 2, but the only 2 that have got laps led are Hartz and Irvin, and it looks like Matt Cochran will get his on this one.
Well, I mean, Grant wasn't from lack of Grant trying to get a lead, try to lead as well. So this will set up. It's interesting if Ryan Hartz can get that jump, take off, and get around there. We see Cochran's going to go down now. He got what he wanted. He's going to go around now. But interesting to see if Hartz can get the jump on Grant and kind of stay out there where he's been, or if Grant can take advantage of the fresh tires and the gas.
So Caleb Starmer has disconnected. Kyle Sieg has disconnected. And Mr. Ware and Corcoran are in the pits. Extensive damage being took after for both the 22 and the 18. And the number 12, James Litzenberger, has been issued an EOL from race control. Top 26 drivers on the lead lap as we're working lap number 41. Looks like everybody elected for 4 tires and fuel. So resets the field at this point at lap 41. So I'm going to think they're going to split this thing in half and take this up to, 80 laps. So take it up to lap 80 and then come back down again and work from there.
And still have that set in
And still, exactly. We shall see what they do. Because no one can make it the whole way from here. So there are going to be guys that are going to stretch it and hope for a caution to help them out so they can keep the track position. So look at some of the guys to push them, maybe like Eric Wineland, Jacob Bell, Tyler Hallman. Some of the guys have been sitting towards the back. So they might actually work a strategy to stay out longer and move up into the grid based on that. And maybe some guys will fall off, maybe off the lead lap in that type of period. We didn't see that at all, really, in the first run here. So we did about 35 laps of green flag racing and didn't see anybody in danger of losing a lap to the leaders that I saw.
No. Not unless they did damage to themselves. Other than that, no.
So, all right.
Now we are currently showing the 12 as a lap down.
Yeah, the lap there's a 12 was given an EOL. I'm not sure how he got a lap down, but he was involved in that with Steimer as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Pace Truck has his lights off, which means we'll get back to green flag racing. And Ryan Hartz and Garrett Grant now your front to Paul Irvin back in the looks like the outside in sixth spot, 2 rows back, 3 rows back.
Yeah, he's in.
Yeah, Garrett Grant was hiding behind the truck.
Mhm.
I hate when they do that.
There again, Brad Slaughter in the 81. Suddenly now he's lurking.
Yeah,
Man.
well, he moved up a couple spots. The nice pit stop that he did there. Cameron Hearn up to 11th spot, and like I said, he's our winningest driver in this season.
Yep.
So, and Danny Ware is now using the Ed Robertson "I don't want no problems" in chat. It's pretty interesting because Danny Ware's had a lot of problems. Concerning he's on the pit lane still, and off to the good start is Ryan Hartz. Quick on that throttle, and about 4 car lengths back to Grant, and Brad Slaughter in the 3rd spot being worked on low by Fambro.
Yeah, I said if he's going to do it, jump now, get out there, get your lead back, let them have to fight back to you. But again, you said this is a track you don't want to get too far out because then they'll gang up on you and catch you in the end. But those guys right there, the 81, Colin Fambro in the 54, Martin there in the 11, and Irvin, they're forcing the hand right now and running too wide. There you see Colin Fambro drops down, opening up the inside for Irvin, or now he goes to the outside now.
Jordan Martin having a heck of a race here in the top 5. That number 11 machine right there behind Brad Slaughter. On his outside is now Paul Irvin.
Yeah, I kind of think that the high line is you can work that pretty good on new tires. It seems like as it goes on, as we were watching earlier, the lower line seems to be the fastest way around. But early on, you can work that higher line and kind of get better traction.
So 45 of the 120 here as we cross the line will be done. Anticipating drivers coming down for tires and fuel at about lap 80 to maximize the tire sets that they have. Ryan Hart's, Garrett Grant. It's interesting. Like I said, we talked about this with Garrett. Garrett, usually a driver who's managing that equipment, is liking what he's feeling early, trying to get the most out of his equipment early in the run, kind of away from his normal type, his modus operandi and his operational motives.
Modus operandi.
Yeah, trying to use big words. I found it in the dictionary.
Back to Sherlock Holmes days. That's beautiful. Professor Moriarty is going to be popping behind the wheel here soon.
That's right. Strategy.
That's right.
But we talked about this at the beginning that was strategy is going to be what wins the race tonight here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And that's one thing about Hartz though is do you continue to let somebody follow you like Grant that is going to sit there and use you up?
Well, I mean, early laps, go ahead and go for it. But eventually settle down and go, okay, I'm just going to stay where I am and we'll ride until it's time. But, at some point you got to think about it. You're not even halfway there, but you see him. Is he going to clear him coming off?
Yeah.
Nope, right on the outside door. Did not clear him. So.
Thought he would there.
And Brad's just going to watch what happens, shoots up high behind Grant, and then drops back down below the 5 again. So.
Just powerful off is the 3. And what Brad Slaughter's doing is he's using the whole track versus the 3. Yeah, this time Garrett's got it this time. But Brad Slaughter was using the whole track behind them, which was allowing him to catch up to him. Instead of having to pick a lane and stick there, he was able to use the whole track. That late apex that we were talking about earlier with Ryan Hartz. So Garrett Grant, the newest of the leaders. Check out.
He said earlier he likes this track. So
I guess the 4 did not get a lap lead. Interesting.
That is interesting. All right. right, now when does Brad Slaughter make his move to try to go into second place? The 81 truck all over the back end of the 3. And I would assume he knows his track quite well also. So should not be seeing much surprise there. And then you got a little conga line going on here from
Dun, dun,
Cameron
dun,
Hearn.
dun, 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 dun.
Cameron Hearn, James Steenwolf, Colin Fambros dropped back there. The Watermelon Boy, Travis Beckner. I know he's not the Watermelon Boy, and so if I'm offending someone, I apologize. Travis, the flag man.
But he kept Ross Chastain's watermelon truck on there for the longest time. So, you know, that's a shout out to him following Ross Chastain in the Florida, you know, native there. So, oh, somebody up in the wall there.
That's outside of the top 10 there. So,
is that Wineland? Yeah, Eric Wineland got up into the outside retaining wall just ever so slightly.
He just wanted to see if it was still there.
Yeah, you know, if you get up to it close enough, you can push it back some, I think.
I'm pretty sure you can. 5 still holding court up front, but it looks like to me Ryan Hartz is still trying to figure out how to get back around and get to that lead again.
So 2 drivers, it's all I'm seeing, have left the service. That's Caleb Steimer and Kyle Seek. Corcoran and Danny Ware continue to get some work done inside. It looks like Sean Corcoran came out and went back down the pit lane, so might have done that just to pass Danny Ware, because I think he was actually behind Danny at one time. So points are points, man.
I guess.
You can get a position on pit, you know, by staying in the car. That's what, you know, that's what Dom DeLeo says. There'll be no DNFs for his car.
There you go.
He can keep it around the track. He gonna keep running. So 54 of 120 being worked on as we're approaching the halfway mark. Garrett Grant, your new race leader. Ryan Hart's behind him. Brad Slaughter, Paul Irvin, and Martin. So Martin, relatively a newcomer to area this season, and you know we don't talk about him much because he's kind of usually about mid-pack. Doing pretty good with the top 5 right now. As you see Cameron Hearn sliding off the corner into the backstretch.
You say Cameron looked like he came off that hill just a little too much higher than he wanted to. And then, yeah, Martin having a great race in the number 11 truck right now. Maybe it's a track that he's driven before on other vehicles or what have you, but he certainly seems to know how to get around this track. And he's right on the backside of Paul Irvin.
Like I said, you know, iRacing, when you get the service, you know, you have this track is right there. One of the things you start with the street stocks is they run here, and I'm trying to remember the other 2 tracks they go to, but it's all for included in your membership. So I know this track is used by a lot of teams, so there are a lot of leagues out there, so they're not having their drivers buy content. This area iRacing tends to go by the NASCAR schedule, and Ken, you can attest to this. Buying the tracks and buying the vehicles can move up pretty quick.
I mean, 15 to 19 bucks a track, and you know, yeah. Now there are some things they'll give you, and some things that you can pick up for next to nothing. And I have a Volkswagen that I drive on the dirt.
The rallies, the VW,
yeah.
the Jettas. Yep. So
yeah, I'm not good at them either. So.
All right, so Garrett Grant, Hart, Slaughter, Irvin, and Martin, the top 5. And Cameron Hearn now started to come out of the picture. He's kind of in no man's land in between this top 5 and the 7 on back behind him.
Yeah, I mean, you got Shane Wolf, Beckner, and Collier rounding out that top 10. So, again, some young names, some drivers that don't have that say pedigree of 4,000 to 5,000 in their iRatings, but they're driving like they do. So, 2 guys up front. Garrett Grant is a heck of a driver himself, and seems to be able to hold Ryan Hartz right now where he wants him. But again, that'll change as the track gets on and the cars get on. We're getting close to the midway point of this, and you see Justin Anasogok under the underside of the 77 of Jacob Bell. And so the Alaskan Assassin, trying to drive up through the field at this point in 16th place. Well, no, he just took 15th.
Caution has come out as we've gotten the halfway mark. Looks like Hartman and Caps are involved. So we'll try to get this on to you. So Hartman on the outside, Caps down low as we're across the stripe here. Let's watch the 55 and the 51.
Oh,
Ooh,
50, it's a
wow.
run.
Yeah, run it pretty hard. And that was one hit. And it looks like it's going to happen again here. So Caps underneath that line. And wow, the 51 was kind of squirrely in 3 and 4 entry. And wow, not sure what happens here. We'll watch it. But it was like, yeah, it was turn 1 and 2 one lap earlier where the 55 had a better run. See how he works here because it says that the caution might have happened the second time by.
He gets another run. He's going to come off here, and yeah, I was going to say he's going to come off here with an awful lot of. He's trying to stay off him. It looks like it, but that 50, the truck in front of him, the 51, is just dancing all over. There he goes.
Wow.
There you go.
Ooh, and then there's whoa!
Oh, wow.
Okay, the 51 was. Hey, make sure that Neil Armstrong didn't see him.
He just put a new flag on the moon. That's for sure. That is some excellent height. Good distance too, I think.
So on board here.
There we go. And up we go. So if you ever wondered what space flight felt like, folks, there it is.
There it is.
By the 51 and the 55.
All right, we have a new race leader in Brad Slaughter as him and Fambro stay out. Everyone else down pit lane for. Did they actually? Looks like they might have taken tires and fuel.
Most of them look like they filled up and took it all. So
seeing that they could possibly
have a better advantage.
They could possibly make it to the end here.
Ooh, I don't know about that. That's a long run. Come on.
But we said 45 to 55 or 45 to 50. What did I say?
45 to 50.
Ah. We'll see.
They ain't making it. That's 58 laps.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what happens. But it looks like the drivers are taking that. Maybe thinking it'll be another caution and will allow them to get this in there.
I mean, it's possible, but even so, typically when we say 40 to 45, let's just use what we normally know. Typically when we say 40 to 45,
45 to 50.
It's 45 to 50. It's right around there. Like you can go
52. Yeah.
Stretching at 58, cautions or no cautions, you're doing a lot. So maybe they can. Maybe they know better than me. I'm not a driver. They are.
Yeah.
But it would seem to be an extremely bold strategy, Harold, doing something like that. Neither here nor there, because Brad Slaughter and Colin Fambro have only been on their tires for 23, and 3 or 4 of them now have been on caution. So again, they can go a little farther too. They don't have to panic right now and come pitting. They're only halfway through the run.
Yeah, they can go up to 80 and get the fuel and tires and know they were good to the end, where the rest of the guys are gambling with. Do they have what they need for the rest of the run?
And I'll be honest, I think they're going to come down. If there's another caution, I still think they come down and do what they got to do. But
there's another caution, no doubt they're coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Strategy that we talked about, that's going to get you to win this race today, is making the right calls on the pit box, as well as driving that vehicle into this position. So
right now, just pulled one of the better moves, and we'll see how well it works out. But again, Slaughter is not he's no slouch to knowing where he's going to do and what his truck can do, so that's not a concern. And then Fambro, who typically, we don't talk about right now. Most times it's towards the end, but he's going to hang out there with Brad, and they take a chance. I think it's a good chance. I think there's no way you're not going to need the fuel and the tires, and I think they did it they did a smart thing here. What I was trying to say.
Okay, got it. But I think it is good strategy call by the crew team to tell them that, hey, we're going to stay out, knowing we're going to have to come down one more time anyway.
Absolutely.
Let's get what we can get out of this set of tires without changing it out and see what it gets us.
Now, keep in mind with these cautions as well, these caution laps, they might be able to run a little farther than 82. I mean, they might go to 85 or something like that and cause more trucks to have issues. So,
Trick. Yep.
never know.
We will only know as it plays out, and we will keep you informed of it as we're now just past halfway. So here we're going to go with our Swift Lifestyles. Fans, be sure to visit our sponsor Swift Lifestyles for the clean supplements that help improve your focus in gaming. Use discount code AREA iRacing for 15% off your entire order. We'd like to thank Swift Lifestyle for their support of Area iRacing, and we'll get to that halfway rundown as well as we're on our pace lap here. Brad Slaughter leads the way, and then right behind him is Colin Fambra on the outside. Garrett Grant is in the third spot. And we're going to continue to try to run through this here. Ryan Hars on the fourth spot has led the most laps thus far. Jordan Martin now in the fifth spot at number 11. And Cameron Hearn moving up into the seventh spot in the 67. 28 is Travis Beckner in the eighth spot from Fort Myers, Florida. James Shanewoolf in the ninth spot. And Curtis Vollmer is 10th. And I think we might have missed somebody. Colin Fambra, I believe, is the fourth spot. Just make sure everybody was taken care of in the top 10 running order currently.
And there we saw Paul Irvin have a little bit of a start issue.
And a caution out.
Yeah. Woo.
And this changes a lot, as we were talking about earlier. Let's try to see what happened.
Mm-hmm.
What had happened was, as we've said before.
Exactly right.
So on the start here, because it happened right on the starting lap, we got the number 4 or the 24 of James Cooey and the 41 behind him, and that's Pierce Moffitt. And he's that corner entry and bang into the wall he goes, back up the racetrack and collects AJ Roderick. Ouch.
Guess and AJ's not going to be real happy about that one.
No, and it looks like he's right there, and he's pretty much, if AJ Roderick, their vehicle's pretty much done.
Gone? Yep.
And see if I can grab back here. Maybe you see from AJ's perspective what we saw.
Into the turn. Truck is probably down there now, coming up. Nowhere to go. Smoked the front end, found the wall, spun around.
Ouch. And
yeah.
Yep, and no dice, no engine. So, and around goes the 24. That James? No, that's not who that was. Trying to think who went around there.
Oh, Cody is the 24.
Now pit lane, he's smoking. I'm trying to see who went around the pace car as in the got a lap back. I wonder if that was the number 4. No.
So Cochran was there, the number 4. You see Adam Katz is still on there, Logan Hartman's still on there, but they're from the previous 4A, so to speak.
All right, so the 24 is the one that EOL for that. And the 55 of Adam Capps was given the EOL for the lap 60 caution, the one at halfway. So cleaning things up as I get them from the race control, Ruth. So we're just past the halfway, 67 laps completed as we cross the line here. Waiting for the pace car to get the command to line them up. We got at least another lap here under caution. But this changes a lot. Slaughter and Grant. Grant's been went down and got his new tires and such. Slaughter and Fambro are now on 28. But I said I think we're going to see the two of them, go a little bit further and then come down and get another set. But now does this help Garrett Grant get to the end on fuel with this one caution?
Still saying that.
You still say no?
I don't know that I don't know we're absolute. I don't know that we're absolute on 45 to 50.
That's right. We didn't see anybody pass it. So, but yeah, it's going to be close because that would be 58 but with 2 caution sets though. So
Seems like an awful lot of what ifs.
yeah, I know. And the caution can throw it all into the nothing column.
Oh, we've seen quite a few yellers, so possible we could see more yellers as the night goes on.
All right, we continue to watch the guys here as the pace truck gets to the flag. See if they give them the command to turn the lights out and get ready to stack these guys up.
Good evening, Gary. Gary's checking in, so I didn't get.
What's up, Gary? Yeah, he didn't get to race last night. He was stuck at work, so we had to feel bad for him.
Oh man, sorry about that. I really am. Wish he would have raced. But he's joining us on the chat, so that's good.
All right, so pace truck has the lights off, indicating we got one more to go, and we'll get back to action here. It'll be 51 laps to the end. That'll put it at a 58 lap stint for the race leader of Garrett Grant. The question is, does he have the ability to get that far, or will he have to come down again? And do we go green the rest of the way? That's another question, right?
Well, I mean, you got a couple guys that dropped on pit road that I'm a little surprised by.
You know, what would Larry McReynolds say? What's the tail of the tape?
Well, the tail of the tape is, we don't know what the tail of the tape is. We don't know if they can run the length that they claim they can run gas-wise. And we certainly don't know if the tires will hold up because we haven't run that far, have we?
Not tonight. We have not
was
pushed.
the longest we ran, right?
Right.
So, yeah. So how do we know?
There's a lot of we don't knows. But isn't that why we tune in? Isn't that why we tune in to watch?
I'm pretty sure it's definitely not because we're here talking. So yeah, we tune in to watch because these guys are driving and we don't know.
So Garrett Grant, good jump.
Yep. Great jump by the 5, taking the 3 along with him. Then Brad Slaughter's going to drop down behind them. Now again, Brad Slaughter, if you, as you said, if you're smart, let him pull you around for a little while. Why not? Mm-hmm. Save on that fuel, son. Save on it.
If we get another caution, I can almost see everybody coming down to get another set of tires put on, and that would put the 81 as well as the 54 of Fambro in a really good position because they would be the only cars the only trucks I would know that would have a set remaining.
Taking a stab at this and saying that pay attention to the 67 truck. He's going to try to go the rest of the way, I think. If there's no caution.
Well, he took fuel on that last pit stop, so
I know what I'm saying.
Making sure he got enough to get it to the end.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And if it goes green, that's what he's going to want to see.
So Grant, unusual to be up early in a run, has about a 3-car length over the number 3 of Hearts, followed by Vollmer, Shainwolf, and Martin still in the top 5. Having a heck of a run, that number 11.
Curtis Vollmer's a name we didn't talk about very much, but you know he is someone that could be, as you said, one of the spoilers. But you know the front 2 are decent drivers, great I ratings, so they're capable of it. And then you got a couple guys in there that maybe not so much. And then Jordan Martin comes in, he's got a decent little thing. And then you got Travis Beckner, who's for me, I think I've been more impressed with him as far as him running last year, the end of last year and this year. A lot of learning curve, and he's done really well with that. And that's Harold's in-depth.
Yep, what I said.
What he said. You're deep, Harold. I got to tell you.
Exactly, deep.
You are deep.
And, you know, now it was like Shainwolf, who we haven't really talked much about him tonight, kind of setting the back part of the top 10, is now moved up into the second spot, and the number 31 slides in front of Ryan Hartz.
Well, I think maybe he just wants to talk to us at the end of the race. You never know. But Shainwolf usually has a pretty good piece underneath him, but trying to put it all together and kind of, keep it going throughout the whole thing. Last time he won was way back in Daytona.
Yeah, well, James Shane Wolf definitely showing muscle in that truck tonight. But, we talked about earlier, who's going to win by team. And so right now, if you're paying attention to that, Garrett Grant is with DWR. Shane Wolf is an elite driver, which I chose earlier. Ryan Hartz is with Jacob Bell, JBR. Curtis Vollmer is a non-team driver. And Jordan Martin, another JBR driver. Travis Beckner, a non-team. Hunter Collier with Peak Racing, doing a pretty good job for Hunter. Ed Robertson without a team. Tyler Hallman with DWR. And Justin Anasogak with the Darnell Racing. That finishes out your top 10 as we're currently running on lap 77.
The Alaskan Assassin's driving pretty good today, so let's hope he holds on and kind of gets a little closer to the front as he takes that spot right there. Ed the Muffin Man, he's my dark horse. Oh, what a shot into the wall that was. And that's going to take several trucks along with him.
Martin and Vollmer involved, it looks like.
It looks like Vollmer's the one that took the shot of all of that. Absolutely.
Checking out that here, we got another caution, and that resets everything. I think everybody will come down in this pit stop. So here we're looking at the number 11 of Jordan Martin, the 28 of Travis Beckner behind him.
Was it Beckner that felt the heat? No.
As Curtis Vollmer is right above them, right? The
Vollmer's
48. Yep, Curtis Vollmer. So the 11 looking low, the 48. Oh, it looks like it was stacked up there. The 3, the 48, and the 11. Y'all can't be in the same spot, guys.
Nope, and he backs that thing into the wall, and watch how many he takes with him.
So we look here, see if I can get this thing to come forward. See the 3, the 48. They're trying to go 3 wide. Ryan Hartz goes, no, I want the middle. So the 48 says, okay, well, I got to go to low. And, well, Jordan Martin's already there. So Jordan Martin turns the 48.
Well, the 48 turns himself by going into Jordan Martin, but whatever you want to call it. But I'm sure who's going to get the EOL here.
Actually, they deemed it a racing incident, which I would totally agree with. Good. As the 48 backs into the wall, spinning like a top.
And he's going to get topped here in just a moment. There you see the Muffin Man get by. And he's still spinning in and not swinging in. There goes Anasogak. Couple other trucks, and then this is where they should start piling up right about now.
And that's the one of Ryan Swan, and then that kind of that makes the whole thing lock up. 77 into the wall, high, and then that's the 20.
Yep.
Of Christopher Budd.
Yep, the Bud Man. This Bud's for you.
And everybody else gets through with the 48 taking a hit. And as we talked about, I'm very shocked here. Cliff Mullins on back coming down, and that was Brad Slaughter, Colin Fambro, Lissenberg, Jacob Bell, all the guys there, Vollmer, Swan, Cooey, AJ Roderick, all on pit lane right now. So,
if you're Brad Slaughter, now's the time. You've only got. Yeah, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're at 40 laps, 41 laps, you're fine.
But this is what we were talking about, that he was going to come down around 80 anyway, I think, and get new tires. Now he's got 20 laps better tires than the race leader of Grant, but these guys can go to the end now, but so can now Brad Slaughter.
With better tires, exactly right. And
he's got a set left.
Brad Slaughter's going to come out in 17th. He can work his way up from that 40 laps.
So James Shane Wolf, a big thing tonight. He has gained the most positions, 23 positions, started in the 25th spot.
Sure did.
So, yeah, race control saying we're going to just call that and that, like you said, that wasn't, we had 3 trucks trying to all find the same spot. Doesn't work here.
And I'll be honest, Martin shows flames out twice, which means he let up twice.
Yep.
He did everything he could, but when that truck just keeps coming, there's nowhere to go.
No.
So
And he was doing a really good job up to that point.
Yeah. Yep.
We were talking about him pretty much staying at the top 5. So now a new top 5, Grant, Shane Wolf, Hartz, Jordan Martin's still there. So he really didn't hurt his car. He kind of pushed Vollmer off of him because I don't see any real damage on the 11.
No.
And then
there's
Travis
no way
Beckner's
that-
new, so.
Yeah. No. I would say that Martin's truck is probably just slightly. Yeah. There's nothing. He barely slid across him, but the back end of that, you can see the lip of the nose there.
Yep.
There's a little bit gap between the
Yep,
lid.
compared to that way, it should look like
Yep.
this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But other than that, that's not going to affect his truck.
All right, got to go green here at lap 82. So 81 down, 39 laps remaining for tonight. Curtis Vollmer electing to pack it up for the night and move on to Coda. Coda will be next. Circuits of the America be turning left and right in that super long straightaway on the backside.
I love that track. I don't know what it is about it, but I love the layout. I love the climb. I love the climb up to turn 1. It's just well thought out. And
Well, then it's heavy on the binders.
yep.
And
very
then
heavy
and then the S's after that section. Oh man.
it's a brilliant layout. It's Formula One built, obviously, and they did an amazing job because watch those Formula Ones go up there and kind of rip into it too. It's hysterical, but you can run a really good race no matter the vehicle you're in. I just think it lays out well. It's a nice track all the way around, and it as we showed before. You get battles at the end as well. Sometimes you got to move people out of the way. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but that track showed that. All right, here we go. Evil Knievel has taken the truck off, and Garrett Grant again just getting a huge jump. Shane Wolf up high, Ryan Hart's down low. I don't think Shane Wolf's going to be able to do much there coming off of that. Going to just stay tight to him. And Travis Beckner sliding into the 4th spot. Way to go, Travis. Jordan Martin hanging on in 5th, which is pretty much where he's been the whole night.
Yep, Shane Wolf all over the back deck lip of Ryan Hart's. So Elite pushing the JBR ride into the Elwood Designs truck. So three teams are represented in the top 3 here. Then you got a non-team driver and then a JBR in the 11.
And then the man, Ed the Muffin Man. So Shane Wolf is either just pushing to see what he can do early, or I think it's a little early to try to make a move to win, but get out there and run a stretch for 20, 30 laps and kind of walk away from him. That wouldn't hurt either.
Great. Yep.
Garrett Grant up high, but still held the momentum.
So Grant, of the top 2 drivers, the only driver that has not won. And then you got 2 newers in Martin and Beckner that also don't have. So the top 5 has 3 drivers possibly working for their first win of the season here.
Absolutely. And Garrett Grant came in 3rd, the last race, but
Yep. Getting hot at the right time.
well, I think he, you know him. That dude is trying his best to. Gary said he put 120 muffins in it. We know, Gary, but you're more donut man than muffin man. But props to your 120 muffins. I'm sure they're fantastic.
It could have come our way, but hey.
Yeah, we haven't seen that shipment yet. But
Yeah.
and when I stood next to Ed Robertson, and he kind of looks like a muffin next to me, so he even had that cute little muffin top head. So he'll kill me for that. But.
All right, so Grant continues to lead the march as we've completed 86 of the 120. Continuing to march away here. The 5, the 3, the 31, the 28, and the 11. The top 5 Outside of that is Ed Robertson, Collier, Hallman. Brad Slaughter Jr. has moved his way up to the 9th spot. So he's on a tear right now. And Colin Fambrough right with him, both in the top 10. Slaughter up to 8th now.
Yeah, he's just gonna. I mean, he's just gonna go for it. He doesn't have time to wait. The guys up front, they can make their moves later. There you see going on the outside. And again, still kind of early in the run, so if you're gonna make your moves, make them where you know you can do it. And he is just hauling the mail on the
double
outside.
pass there around the Muffin Man. Now on the side of Collier, sorry, not Collier, Martin, moves Slaughter up to the 5th spot. Lap car down low here.
Yeah, keep it down low. You better keep it down low. Whew. All right, on the back door of Shane Wolf and still a coming, the freight train that is the number 81, and he is not going to wait long. He'll go to the outside just like he has been doing. James slides up in front of him, so he goes down below. This might be a good time to power on by. The 81 underneath, Shane Wolf on the outside, and there it goes to 3rd place, and the 81 is not done. I can promise you that.
Colin Fambrough's been using Brad Slaughter as a pick, and he's moved his way all the way up to the top 5 in the 4th spot. And say, hey, thanks, Brad.
Well, I mean, they pitted together earlier, and they ran the strategy the same, so I'm not surprised that that's happening. But look at him get around. I mean, he got around Hartz like Hartz wasn't even there. And now he's going to take down Garrett Grant like, you know. This is something. Push him up, run him up high, and then just beat him coming off the corner.
Down the 81, strong around the number 5. So put Brad Slaughter back to the lead, where Grant looks like he had a run there. The 81 goes high to block.
Difference between 12 lap tires and 30 lap tires.
And here comes the machine of Brad Slaughter. Behind him is Fambrough. Fambrough now working underside of Garrett Grant. These two, like you said, have brand new tires compared to the rest of the field, like some 17 laps newer tires.
That's huge at Charlotte. I mean, if we were at a small track, maybe not so much, but boy, is it huge here.
Big time. We talked about strategies, what got Brad Slaughter the win at Gateway. Also coming towards the end with better tires than the rest of the field. Kind of walked away at Gateway. Looks like he's trying to do the same thing here, except for Colin Fambrough kind of got the message as well. Non-race team guys, but kind of keeping an eye on, heard what he's doing, and I guess his crew chief said, hey, how about we follow the 81? What we got to lose?
Well, yeah, if you're watching somebody come through like that, that's exactly who I'm hitching my ride to. Put a trailer ball, put a ball on him, and just lock yourself in. But you know, Brad's in another class right now as far as spreading himself out from Fambrough and the others, and it looks like he's putting that distance on pretty quick. So.
No, total darkness now at Charlotte, so this track's cooled off, getting stickier, and these guys can run multiple grooves we're seeing here towards the back, and that's Mr. Cameron Hearn moving up to the 12th spot.
Hearn coming from a ways back from his strategy before, but again, we all know he can go. Everybody should be able to go the distance without any question. Just a matter of, do we get another yellow flag on the track?
But once they cross here, it'll be 25 to go as the 81 leading the way, going to the backstretch, completing lap number 95 here.
There you see the lap down truck staying way out
There's
of the
Danny
way.
Weir in it, the 18.
Yep. Hey, you got to get your laps. You got to get your laps. Yep.
So Ryan Swan also off now, the number 1.
Yep. And that's why Danny's back out there. I mean, if you look at it.
Yeah, got 10 laps and he'll leapfrog Ryan Swan. 12 laps, he'll go over Vollmer.
Yep. The smart move. Got to do what you got to do. Look at the distance between Fambrough and Grant now. I mean, it is just
1.2 seconds now.
Amazing.
So Slaughter and Fambrough walking away from the rest of the field. These
I don't
guys
see
want to see it
anything
to
that-
stay green, though.
absolutely. I don't see anything that Colin's doing different that's helping him gain. Although he gains a little bit here, gains a little bit there, but then you see coming off a two, man, Brad is so strong. Takes it back up to 4/10, and then Colin will get him back down these last two, and then come into the line and back out again. But again, off that turns 1 and 2 down the backstretch. Brad's got quite a truck. There you see it's with 3.6. They'll dive into this turn. Everything's hunkadora copacetic, and then watch the number go the other way. There we go.
Fambro at that time looked like he was better off the
Much
corner.
better lap. Yeah, had a much better lap that time. Last time we put him at 4:10, 4:20. This time he's at 3.5, which means he's got a better shot coming down through the front if he can get under that 0.3 of a second.
Really close. He's within striking
go.
range now, within 2 car lengths. He's got to get his marks just right. And that dirty air coming off the 81 doesn't help much, but he's getting a lot closer. So little by little.
This time you see him drop an awful lot coming off of 2 and then back down. So he's got to regain coming out of 3 and 4, which he does really well. Runs 3 and 4 extremely well. Comes across the front. But this time he's he's at 3.5. Brad's changed his move. Go into the turns 3.5, 3.5. Look at that. He drove hard into that one. So this could play out. I mean, 20 laps to go. These two guys, if he can keep him close, they're running on the same tire strategy, running on the same fuel strategy. None of that makes a difference. It's just a matter of driver versus driver.
Be settled on the racetracks what they want, right?
Yep. That's where else. Now, this time put it halfway between the blue on that line, Harold.
He's definitely sucking up on him too, though.
Yeah, that paid off really well to be able to run that low like he did. Now under 0.2 of a second. This is a great battle right here.
Now within 2 car lengths.
This is going to make a difference right here. Watch how far down he can get that truck. If he can stay, this time he was a little higher, so he's probably going to lose a little bit coming off of here. See, he's heading back up to the mark a little bit higher. When he goes down to 1 and 2 and can hold the middle of the blue stripe is when he has a great run. This time Brad kind of shuts the door a little more in 3 and 4, so he's not going to gain as much through this part. But we'll see what he does here. Come in. There you see, he got his tires down lower, and look, he's not losing coming off of that. Now he's at 1.7, 1.6 now gaining on the backstretch. So Colin's got to keep his wheels on the lower, in the middle of that blue line on 1 and 2 as best he can. So much better through this stretch. He's clearly faster through here.
Let's see what he does here on this time by 1 and 2.
Brad's going to try to keep him way down there. Sure enough, he goes down, but that could hurt Brad too.
Oh yeah, it looks like that helped Fambro there, but he was trying to take away that line that Fambro's been using to gain on him.
That's a smart move. This time he comes off of 3 and 4 with a much better run, and puts a little more distance between him and Colin. That time coming off of this time, he's not going to have the ability to get down there and close him off. There you see, he put the tires where it needed to be, and now he is right on him with a lot of momentum coming down this backstretch this time around.
Yeah, so Slaughter there trying to take away the preferred line to the number 54 of Colin. Fambro was able to keep him off that time by to the stripe here to complete 105, 15 laps to go.
We'll keep it a little higher this time, Harold, I think. No, he goes way below the blue. Trying to pull as much as he can coming off of there. Brad's gonna take some air away from him going into 3 and 4.
If Fambro allowing that car to really work with that left side tires underneath the apron line, that blue and white line that you're talking about. And he's going to go down there. He's side by side off of turn 1.
I don't think he's going to have him this time, but what a run.
Right there. He's telling him, I'm here. I'm going to stay in that rear view mirror. For Slaughter to watch in the mirror where where Fambro is, maybe affecting his line some as we're completing lap 107. Trying to see
if
where
anybody
the
can do that, though, Harold, if anybody can run looking out his mirror, it's going to be Brad. I mean, he's good at what he does as far as running the mirrors, but you know, he's going to have to just guard against Collins' moves, and every once in a while, just throw him off.
It's like Fambro's trying to get on the outside on the backstretch. Brad goes up to prevent that move. That looks like Fambro's trying to get around to his outside for 3 and 4, and Slaughter's just basically cutting that off. Let's see what he does here in 1 and 2.
There's only one other truck out there that's running the numbers that the top 2 are running. That's Cameron Hearn in the 67.
He's up to 7th now.
He just took 7th, and he should be in Beckner's back door and Shane Wolf's back door in just a moment as well. I don't think he has enough time, but if these two keeps battling, he's running almost identical marks as they are. A little slower this time, but he's been pretty fast. 31.9s, 31.8 that time from Brad.
So Fambro's trying to get that line that he was cutting into Slaughter to work again. Slaughter's able to get about a 2-car length lead as we're coming to finish 110 and be 10 to go here, coming off 3 and 4. Slaughter now working that very low line for the apex as we complete 110, 10 laps to go. Slaughter and Fambro now 4.6 seconds ahead of Garrett Grant.
So the question is going through 3 and 4, now that Brad's trying to take the down low on the 1-2, if I'm Colin, do you try to get to his outside in 3 and 4 and see if that gains momentum coming around, or do you just keep doing what you're doing?
Oh, we'll see. I don't know. I think we wait till we get to the 5 to go or whatever, and then he starts looking for ways to get around him because he's where he needs to be. He's within striking range. But, I could almost think in Fambro's head, if I make the move too early, he can return the favor.
True. That is true. But I think they're equally working their tires, so it's not a matter of them, not running the same type of, high-low decision, all of that. It's pretty equal. Hearn now in 5th, and he is, again, 3:19, faster than the leaders. That time around, Garrett Grant, Ryan Hartz, and Cameron Hearn ran 31s. So trucks are still kicking it. Now, I'm sorry. Can he let off a little bit, cool his tires, and then go back at him again, or is that?
Yeah, it could work. But that's what I was trying to think what Fambro is doing right now. Maybe that's what he's doing, trying to cool off a little. But definitely Slaughter's starting to pull away again at 3/10.
Yeah.
So Ryan Hartz and Garrett Grant doing battle back here. Hartz on the outside, Grant on the bottom.
And that's just going to bring that 67 truck coming into play right now. He's saying, yeah, you boys go right ahead and battle. Right ahead and battle. I'm coming.
Now they have 4.8 seconds in front of them of the race leaders. So basically they'll need a caution to restack the field if anybody other than Slaughter or Fambro are looking to win this thing.
True, but Cameron can still get a podium out of this deal.
Yep.
At his current pace. So this time for almost a half a second now between Fambro and Slaughter. So Brad's stretching it back out. 5 laps to go. I don't know that he's pushing it. Maybe he was trying to just draw him to a different line. and then go back to it. But right now, Colin needs to flick the switch.
5 laps to go here at Charlotte under the lights, finishing up the CNC Lodging Truck Series for Area iRacing. We have the night off tomorrow. Thursday night, we'll come back here in the Xfinity Series. Then Monday night, we'll be back with Area iRacing coverage of the next generation Cup car for the Elite Entertainment Series, coming to you from COTA. So one of the rare road courses for Area.
Well, those cars were made for that, so it should be interesting. Colin Fambro way up high right now.
You got a lap car in here.
Yeah, lap car must have new tires on because he's hauling.
That is Christopher Buds, who's being shown 4 laps down.
Yeah. But he's running 31.0, so yes, he has new tires. All right, Brad Slaughter now in cruise control. Half second now up to 0.6 of a second. He is not going in the other direction. He's definitely going forward. So Colin Fambro gave a good shot, did his best. If you go back and drop back to Ryan Hart's Cameron Hearn real quick, you might see that has probably tightened up quite a bit. There you see Cameron Hearn trying to get himself a podium here. Needs to get around Hart's for that.
A little battle here with Ed Robertson and Shane Wolf and Beckner.
Yep. Ed on the inside of Shane Wolf. Beckner's going to follow him in and see what happens. Goes low. Ed kind of comes up the track.
We're going to go to the front here. I want to see if Brad catches the white flag, because the white flag will basically put this thing in the books. So coming to the stripe here for Brad Slaughter, receives the 1 to go. So this will be an official race here. Nothing will stop it from the end. Brad Slaughter, final lap. 1 to go, presented by 1 to go Studios for the CNC Logging Truck Series. And we needed to get that, our CNC Logging guys, their little thing, because we weren't able to get that in. Well, I'm not sure why. We were doing our thing.
We would like to thank CNC Logging for their support of the CNC Logging Truck Series this season in Area. Located in Boiling Springs, South Carolina, CNC Logging is your place to go for any of your logging needs. Got wood, big or small, summer or fall, we'll cut your log guaranteed.
And Brad Slaughter does take the checkered flag, as we were thanking our sponsorship there of the CNC Logging Truck Series. So we can go ahead and look at the Fambro and them. They're just basically class of the field tonight.
Absolutely.
And we want to make sure we weren't going to forget CNC Logging for their amount of sponsorship they do for this series. Brad Slaughter making it 2 in a row here tonight.
Yes, we're sorry we weren't there right at the checkered flag as it went across, but nice job by Brad Slaughter in the 81, Colin Fambro in the 54. Ryan Hartz holds off Cameron Hearn to get on the podium, his second time on the podium in 2 races as well.
Let's see if I could catch up with Colin Fambro. Not seeing him currently in the Discord anywhere.
Yeah, maybe we can find Ryan.
I'm looking for Ryan, and here's in JBR. I say I'm gonna try to see if I can find him, but right now not seeing anything. Maybe he'll jump in a little later here. We got Brad Slaughter parking it down low here. When we get to him, zoom in. There we go, the 81. We'll pull him up into the booth. All right, we're with race winner Brad Slaughter and the number 81 Roderick Racing Development for Elwood Racing Designs Racing. I'm gonna mess that up today. Elwood Design Esports. So you want to put racing in there, Brad? Man, what heck of a race! This is like 2 in a row for you, and strategy, both Gateway and here, worked out for you guys.
Yep, that one was a little bit of luck there. I was just banking on staying out there and praying that we got a caution with about 15 or 20 laps into that run, and it fell. So that was really all I was looking for. I didn't expect to go green to the end there. I'll be honest about that, but like I said, that was a great race there with Colin. He had me sweating there. I was trying to shake him out of my draft there for a little while, and then I think finally the tires just kind of wore out a little bit. But good race overall, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, congratulations, man, on getting another checkered flag second in a row. So awesome job. As we were watching pretty much the last, 20 laps, you guys were really putting on a show. The one thing that Colin seemed to be able to do is when he went down into turns 1 and 2, he could put his tires literally in the middle of that blue line, kind of gain on you coming off, and then would not lose a whole lot down the backstretch. So I noticed that you changed your line up a little bit, kind of rear view mirror driving maybe for a little bit there.
Yeah, definitely trying to use the air to get him tight on exit, and I'd kind of run it a little high and just make sure that I could get a good enough exit off, and that the truck was gonna be free enough for me to turn down across his nose if I needed to dump some air on him, and just kind of make him shove a little bit there on exits. What you got to do, man. You just got to kind of play the games in these things. And I think doing that enough times, making him shove his nose, kind of probably graded the right front a little bit, and that's what gave us the separation there at the end. But it was a good race, man. He was really fast. He was back there in the back with me. He was kind of on the same strategy, and so he made a really good call to be on that strategy. So props to him.
Was the intention from the very beginning, Brad, to cut it in the 40, the 80, and then the one, and finishing out 120, just to keep yourself with a set of tires? Was that strategy from get go, or was that something you decided after the first caution?
No, yeah, that was definitely all on the fly. With the way we got that caution there right off the rip, it automatically kind of threw the fuel numbers off and everything. So, just trying to get a feel for it. I normally kind of do the strategy, just play it by ear, and just kind of see how it flows. And I was noticing there when that caution fell, where me and Fambro stayed out, that there was a lot of laps left, and I just figured, I was like, man, if we get a couple of yellows, ill-timed right here, we could be set up pretty nice for the last 30, 20 laps if we get a little shootout. So that's kind of what I was banking on. I mean, it was luck. A lot of it was luck. We had good speed tonight, but like I said, Hearts was pretty fast, and Garrett Grant had really good speed tonight. So I mean, we were just as fast as those guys, but the strategy, we definitely just wanted to do something different than them.
Well, the 17 laps between the tires definitely made a difference. So you know the deal. Go ahead and give your shout outs at this point for us.
Yeah, I want to thank all my guys on our team, AJ, Eric, and Danny, that were here tonight, and they had some pretty good races. I know that some of them ran into some trouble, but they were really fast. So shout out to all my guys, and Alan, our team owner, all of our awesome sponsors that we have over here at Elwood Designs Esports. I got Roderick Racing Development on the truck tonight, and I got it right. I did not say Designs, so nailed that. Thank you to you guys up here in the booth putting on a great broadcast. I can't wait to go back and check it out. Thank you to everybody that tuned in, that's watching. I know there's a bunch of people that are tuning in. My grandfather and my girlfriend's mom is tuned in right now too. So thank y'all to everybody that's tuned in, that watches these every week. And just want to say a shout out, man. It's pretty cool. Today's my dad's birthday. Sweet. And lost him a couple years ago. So it's pretty cool to win on my dad's birthday, I will say.
I agree. I could not agree more. Your granddad was there, said yoo-hoo, Brad. He's one of your biggest fans without a doubt. So great job, man. Congratulations again. Go celebrate with the team, and we'll see you next week at COTA.
10-4. Appreciate it, guys.
Yep.
All right, going to move on. I think Colin Fambro, haven't not seen him in the Discord, but we will give him his props with David Weishart Racing. Let me double check, go down there one more time just to look. I see Garrett, Corcoran, and Hallman. I don't see Colin. So Colin Fambro was your second place driver tonight. Didn't lead any laps, but definitely did a really good job and was trying to get around Brad.
Sure enough.
And then let's pull up the third place driver of Ryan Hartz. So Ryan Hartz, third place tonight in the Rick's Hot Sauce Jacob Bell Racing number 3.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Well, I guess him, right, Harold?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's up next. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's up next. Two podiums in a row. Nice job there driving. Thought you might have had the truck to beat. Strategy kind of caught you a little bit in the end with some of the ill-timed cautions and things like that. But talk about your truck. Talk about how you feel about Charlotte, and is there anything you could have done a little different tonight, Ryan?
Yeah, I thought I had the race-winning truck too at the beginning, like in the first 50 laps. It felt really, really good out front, and I feel like I say my tire is good enough. I couldn't really save a lot because if I lift off anymore, I'm going to get freight trained. It's just how the draft works here, and we're almost full throttle. So kind of hard to save tires, but considering everything that happened, I feel like I did a pretty good job with it. So I thought I had the race-winning truck, but of course I get tricked, and strategy bit me in the butt. So I can't complain about P3. I've had about half a lap of fuel left at the checkered, so
I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you so much for bringing that, because we talked about it like in the middle of the race about how the fuel window is 45 to 50. Okay, we'll give you that. And then you had some caution, so we're kind of thinking, all right, maybe 52, 53. According to what I'm seeing, you ran 58 laps on that stint, which means you had to be pushing the fuel.
Yeah, I was really, really confused because like the second to last yellow and the last yellow, I was thinking, yeah, we're good now. We got all these caution laps, and with about 30 to go, I look at my fuel and I'm 3 laps short. It was really, really confusing, but I had to save. I feel bad for Shane Wolf because I just kept clutching it and getting in his way, and I heard he ran out at the finish line. That's kind of sucks.
I was going to say he probably ran out. He ran 59 laps on his, so he had to it was fuming, I bet. So talk about a little bit. So we got the strategy, we got the how was tire wear tonight? What did you find as far as your truck went?
In practice before the race, I noticed that the truck got really, really tight center exit. So, I had to save the right front all night. It wasn't really a right rear issue. It was only loose for like the first lap. That's about it. But I didn't really have an issue with bad right fronts tonight. I felt like I did a pretty good job with people on my bumper and being able to save the way I did. So, it honestly wasn't that bad. It was actually a pretty good setup for a mile and a half.
Good. All right. Well, you've been here. You were here the last race. You're here again. So why don't you go ahead and give your shout outs like you get to do?
Yeah, I got to thank the captain, obviously, Jacob, for holding up JBR, and got to thank Jordan and Ryan Swan also. They were talking to me all night and debating strategy, so that was really, really fun. Had a lot of fun racing with Jordan throughout the night, and thanks to Rick's Hot Sauce for coming on board for this beautiful paint scheme. I missed last week, so I kind of feel bad for my teammates, but I'm back, and they haven't really lost my mojo.
Well, that's good. We don't want mojo being lost. So, well, congratulations on your podium. Great job. Look forward to seeing you next time in COTA, and that'll be next Tuesday night.
I'm probably going to crash, but I'll see you guys then.
All right, buddy.
All right, so that was the third place driver of Ryan Hartz. Still haven't gotten with Colin Fambro. If he gets in, we'll get to him. Race recap for tonight. The Elwood Designs race recap for the Lowe's 180-81 of Brad Slaughter. The 34 laps to the win. We had 5 cautions for 20 laps. Drivers were 33 at the start of the race, and A.J. Roderick was the fastest car out on the racetrack at 30.280 under race trim. And then laps led, Garrett Grant had the most, Ryan Hart second, Brad Slaughter third. Look at all those 30s, man. And then Paul Irvin had 10.
Paul Irvin did that early on in the race. So those other guys just really kind of dominated, got spread it out, and almost broke the race down, Harold. If you're looking at the numbers, I mean, that's almost breaking the race. One of them led at the beginning, one of them led in the middle, and one of them led at the end, and that's pretty much how it worked out.
And pretty much Paul was the beginning of the race. Slaughter was the end. Hartz was about the middle, and then between Hartz and Grant, they kind of passed. Remember, they were kind of fighting each other 1-2 throughout the night.
Yep, absolutely.
So that is definitely how it goes. So we can do one more thing, which is go through the complete results. Brad Slaughter was your winner. Fambro second. Hartz third. Cameron Hurd fourth. And Ed Robertson in fifth. Rounding out the top 10 was Travis Beckner, Garrett Grant, Hunter Collier, James Shanewolf, and Eric Wineland.
All right, 11th down, Jordan Martin. 11th, Justin Anasogok, Jacob Bell, Paul Irvin, Tyler Hallman, James Litzenberger, Cliff Mullins, Pierce Moffitt, Sean Mitchell, and Bobby Tinch rounding out in 20th.
In 21st, Christopher Buds was 3 laps down. First car that was off of the lead lap. Jim Cooey finishes 32 laps back. Curtis Vollmer 43. And Ryan Swan 44 back. Danny Ware 49. 50 was Adam Capps. Matt Cocker 51. AJ Roder 55. 56 for Hartman and Caleb Steimer. And 30th was 84 laps back. Finishing out here, Sean Corcoran 84 down. Kyle Sieg 85. And Nolan Neiman did not make the grid. As we talked about, he was talking that he was having issues signing into the service tonight. Like I said earlier, they did have a patch today. It was quite large, actually, so that could have been an issue for Nolan Neiman. But, man, tonight here at Charlotte was a heck of a race. We saw it go from, late afternoon to the night conditions, changed the way the track runs, which is kind of what Charlotte does. It goes through that day-night iteration, changes the the way the cars stick to the racetrack. We saw strategy work out, which we talked about, and Brad Slaughter bringing home his second straight win.
Yep, Brad Slaughter had the truck to beat in the end. Strategy worked perfectly for him and Colin Fambro. So great job on that. And it was just a good race. Like I said, I like the fact that it broke down the way it did. We broke it down in 3 stages, and guess what? Those guys did it. We had a different leader in those stages. So that was pretty cool. I enjoyed the race.
All right, so it's been a good day, and we're going to have one more race here at Charlotte on Thursday night. And then next week, we'll be moving on to the Circuits of the Americas, the road course in Texas. So until then, I'm Harold Darner, your lead producer, your executive producer. Lead announcer is Mr. Ken Kushwa. I'm with Wendigo Studios, and we'll see you guys at the next turn.
What an exciting race brought to you by Wendigo Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you at the next turn.